Peter Charles here, Hooked for Life Fly Fishing. And today we're going to tie a nymph called the Black Quill. Now what's interesting about this particular fly is it uses a stripped peacock herl for the body. I'm not going to get into how to strip a peacock herl. There are plenty of videos on and other text out there that'll describe how to do it. But basically we're using just the quill of the peacock herl and all the fuzz is removed. So let's get started and looking at the materials. So our black quill today is going to be done with this black nymph hook in a size 12. Now what's interesting about this hook is it has an offset, as you can see here. The point is offset from the shank, which makes it fiddly to tie on. When you're trying to use a rotary vise, it doesn't work that well. But nevertheless, these kinds of hooks can be effective. Normally, if you want to tie this traditionally, you'd use a Mustad 9671, which is like a small streamer hook, long shank. Our thread is a black Vivus and a 10-aught. We're going to be using dun hen for both the tail and the hackle. The body calls for muskrat, but I don't have any. So we're going to use this gray, which is very similar to muskrat hair in color and texture. So we'll use that. And the wing case is a duck quill. So let's get started. So I'll just take off I don't want a big clump of our dun here, or dun tail. Don't get it too long. Wind it back, there we go. Now we tie in our peacock herl. And I'll wind that forward because I want a smooth body. I want the underbody here to be relatively smooth and flat, so when we start covering with the quill, we don't get lumps and bumps. Okay, this is going to be a bit of a challenge because the offset hook, we have to do quite a bit of gymnastics here to keep this quill going in the right direction. I wanted to show this kind of winding on an offset hook because it is a challenge to get right. And if you start going over, go backwards. You don't want to be stacking these up. You want them side by side. Yeah. You can see the pain of using an offset hook, but they're supposed to hang on to fish better. It's got a little bit of gray showing there. They're supposed to hang on to fish better. So let's give it a try. Bring your thread back. Now we tie in our wing case made out of the duck quill. Okay, now for the dubbing. Now we do our hackle, and you can see how I've prepped the feather here, taken off one side. Now I'll just cut in a tying in point. Again, the same problem when winding around an offset hook. You end up having to track very carefully so you get even turns. Not the most straightforward thing to do. There we go. Now to push those hackle barbs out of the way And pull our wing case over. Best to do a couple of soft wraps at first. And then tighten up. Okay, now we whip finish. Okay, there's our black quill. Pretty straightforward pattern. You can see that offset hook makes it a challenge to really wind on. And I thought, you know, we'll play with the offset hook and you get a chance to see what it looks like, because you will see the odd pattern that does call for an offset hook. It is a nuisance to tie a fly on, there's no question. But, you know, you still got a functional fly out of this. And I think it'll do quite well if you're in an area where black quills are required. So give it a try. Cheers.